Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is Psycho Sibs Gaming and welcome to the brand new year 2022. I have a great feeling that this is going to be a great year for our channel here. Now, talking about the new year, today I want to discuss whether or not you should be purchasing Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville in 2022. Now, obviously, there are still individuals out there who may be interested in buying this game, but just haven't pulled the trigger yet. So today we'll be discussing whether or not you should be dropping your wallet on the latest installment of the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. And as always, if you like what you see here, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more epic content. Almost 90% of the viewers aren't subscribed, so if you're part of that 90%, make my new year, go ahead and click the subscribe button. But without further ado, let's talk about what you need to know before buying Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is make it very clear that there are two versions of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville that are quite different from one another. There is the original version, and I'm going to refer to it as the original version, and that is for Xbox, PlayStation, and computer, or PC, however you'd like to call it, right? That's the original version of the game. But then there's Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, the Complete Edition, and that is for Nintendo Switch only. Again, these are two very different editions of the game, and I'm going to explain why they're different and why it means a lot as far as whether or not you should buy this. So let's start with the Switch edition because that's what I've been playing the most lately, and that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. So right off the bat, the Nintendo Switch version of Battle for Neighborville is honestly my favorite. And the key reason is because the Nintendo Switch version is designed for offline play. So essentially what that means is that, sure, the Battle for Neighborville game has an incredible story mode. You can play that all offline. There's lots to explore and do in that mode. Definitely worth it to play that. But also, if you want to hop into multiplayer, and let's say, you know, the player base is decreasing a little bit, you're concerned that there aren't going to be a lot of live players online, it doesn't really matter with the Switch version because even if there are AI players taking the place of real players online, you still earn the same amount of XP for vanquishing them, and you can also play all of the multiplayer modes offline in private play and still earn the same amount of experience as you would playing against normal players. So overall, this Nintendo Switch version of the game has been designed for offline play, and you won't be punished if the player base of the game isn't super active. That being said, the player base of the Nintendo Switch version of this game is quite active, and that's because this version of the game just released about a year ago. And to top it all off, you have access to all unlockable content the minute you open the game. This differs from the original version of the game because in the original version of Battle for Neighborville, you have to wait every single month to get a different set of unlockable prizes, okay, called the prize map. So there's a January prize map. Once you get all those items, then you have to wait until February to unlock the next set of items. In the Nintendo Switch version of this game, you can unlock any item from any month immediately once you start playing. They're all there for you. And the reason this is great is because you don't feel pressured into playing the game every month as much as possible to unlock all of the items. You can just kind of casually play this game, unlock, if you want to unlock the Halloween event items in January, then go ahead. If you want to unlock the December items in June, be my guest, it's all up for grabs. So overall, when they say this is Battle for Neighborville, the Complete Edition, they really do mean it. Everything is on the table here. And in the end, I would 100% recommend this game to anybody who is interested in purchasing Battle for Neighborville. Now, the game is around $40, which is somewhat pricey, and because it's a Nintendo Switch game, it's not likely to go on sale. That's something with Nintendo. I feel like they really don't have sales too often compared to the other consoles. But again, overall, I have been having a blast with this game, even though it's been out for quite a while. Now, you're probably saying to me, well, Psycho, I don't own a Nintendo Switch. I have an Xbox. Should I still be buying this game? And to that I say, you probably shouldn't buy it unless it's on a really good sale. So let me explain why I don't really like the original version of the game in 2022 nearly as much as the Nintendo Switch version. And that's pretty much because the original version of the game does the complete opposite of everything that makes the Nintendo Switch version so great. So let me explain here really quick. So the original version of Battle for Neighborville for the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC revolves around multiplayer. Your entire experience in this game hinges upon the fact that there are people playing the game right now, okay? So if there's not a lot of people online, you're not going to have as positive of an experience. And the key reason why here is because if you're in a multiplayer game, and let's say you only have 4 or 5 real players, and then the game autofills it with bots, like this Snapdragon in front of me right now, it just says Snapdragon. That's not a real player, that's a fake player, okay? But if you have a lot of fake players in your game, you earn next to no experience for killing them. So when in a typical game, you would earn, in this example, 165 experience for vanquishing an opponent. If you were to vanquish one of those fake players that they fill your game with, you would only get 25 experience. It's a massive drop-off. And that pretty much discourages anybody from playing multiplayer if there aren't real people in the game. And the problem is now that we're in 2022, there are not going to be as many people playing the Battle for Neighborville in general, whether it's the Switch version or Xbox, PlayStation, it doesn't matter. There's not going to be nearly as many players playing this as there was when the game first came out. So you're going to run into more of these situations where you're playing in multiplayer lobbies against fake players and they're giving you next to no experience. And that's frustrating because you need experience to level up your characters and progress throughout the game. It's essentially going to make the game much longer for you and just overall less enjoyable because you're earning less experience, which means you're earning less prize bulbs, which means you can't unlock as many items as fast as you typically would, and it just pretty much throws the entire progression of the game off. And some other things to mention about this version of the game: if you're going to hop into private play, again, this XP reduction applies to private play too, so if you want to play your favorite game mode over and over again in private play, you're going to be earning like next to no experience for doing so. Also, the Nintendo Switch version of the game, you can play offline. Even this single player mode, you can play offline. You can't play anything offline in the original version of the game. So if you're just buying this to play that single player story mode, which by the way is the exact same on both versions of the game, the Nintendo Switch and the original version of the game have the same single player experience, and it is a very good single player experience. So that's pretty much the one positive of the original version of the game. But yeah, you can't play that offline though. So if you just wanted to play solo mode and you wanted to play offline, which I don't think happens too often on console, but you couldn't. If you just keep that in mind, if you buy the original version of the game, you can't play offline mode. So now, in what circumstance should you actually buy the Xbox, PlayStation, or PC version of Battle for Neighborville? Okay. Well, the only thing I can really think of is if you really like the solo experience and you want to be playing in that single-player mode with the quests, and you want to try and 100% every single zone, then it's fine to buy this version of the game. The single-player experience is the same between both versions of the game. Nothing's really changing there. Nothing's changing with the experience as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, you're pretty safe if you're just going for that solo mode. You're pretty safe buying this, but I wouldn't buy it at full price then, because if you're going to just buy Battle for Neighborville for the solo portion of it and not play the multiplayer at all, then don't pay $40 for this game. As a matter of fact, I mentioned, like with the sales and stuff, this game is always on sale from my understanding. I just checked right now, and this game was going for around $8 on the Xbox store, which is kind of ridiculous considering that this is a $40 game, but yeah, if you're interested in playing through the solo story mode and you want to just like spend a couple weekends going through and 100%ing it, then that's fine. And this actually might be a great game for you, but I wouldn't buy it at full price. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up our video today. So in summary, I really do like the Nintendo Switch version of this game, and I think it's worth the $40 that it's currently priced at. But the original version of this game for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC is definitely going to go downhill as time progresses and less people are active in the multiplayer. But, if it's on sale for $5 and you want to play single player mode, why not pick it up? And as always, I want to know what you think on this topic, so please be sure to drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think about these two versions of the game and if you would recommend it to other players. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Game on, gamers.
Let us stop first, we going and going in